Welcome to the Danny Mobile Tech News Podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest in tech news with a focus on artificial intelligence and wireless mobile. I'm your host, Peter, and joining me today are my co-hosts, Lisa and Mark.
Hey everyone, great to be here.
Likewise, let's dive into the news.
All right, let's kick things off with our first story. It's a big one. Chinese tech giant ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, has unveiled an advanced AI model for generating video. According to ABC News, this model is a game changer, allowing users to create extremely realistic human videos from just a single still image. The researchers claim it's unprecedented in accuracy and personalization. What do you guys think about this?
Well, Peter, if you're talking about Goku, it's certainly impressive from a techie standpoint, but I have to say it raises some serious concerns, in my humble opinion. The ABC News article mentions that this could make it easier for bad actors to create deepfakes, which could be used to influence elections or produce non-consensual content. We've already seen instances of AI being misused, and this seems like it could take things to a whole new level, given how realistic it is. I think if we see a video of our president with 7 fingers and an extra limb, that's one thing. But these videos really do take text to video to a whole other level.
I think you're onto something, Lisa. I must say I agree with you on this one. And from a geopolitical perspective, this puts ByteDance ahead of its American counterparts in the AI race. Well, that's if Google's VO2 doesn't deliver as promised in their curated samples. I mean, looking at MatVid Pro's YouTube video today talking about how FreePic just partnered with Google to showcase VO2, which, by the way, MatVid Pro was able to score, I think, 10 free generation coupons for all of his viewers. Go check his channel out. Well, MatVid Pro noticed that VO2 is not quite as consistent and accurate as what I've seen Goku generate. It's interesting to note that while U.S. companies are investing heavily in AI infrastructure, Chinese companies are making significant strides with potentially lower costs. This could shift the balance of power in the tech industry.
That's a good point, Mark. The article mentions that ByteDance's model was trained on over 18,700 hours of human videos, which is a massive amount of data. And they're boasting that it outperforms existing methods significantly. But Lisa, you're right about the risks. The experts quoted in the article are warning about the potential for misuse. How do we balance the benefits of this technology with the potential harms?
It's a tough question, Peter. On one hand, AI-generated content can be used for creative purposes, like in filmmaking or advertising. But on the other hand, the potential for abuse is huge. We need robust detection tools and regulations to mitigate the risks. Unfortunately, the technology is advancing faster than our ability to control it.
And let's not forget the economic implications. If ByteDance can produce this kind of technology more efficiently than U.S. companies, it could give them a competitive edge. This might force American tech giants to rethink their strategies and investments.
Absolutely, Mark. Speaking of investments, our next story is about Baidu, another Chinese tech giant. According to Reuters, Baidu plans to release the next generation of its AI model in the second half of this year. Additionally, they're making their chatbot, Ernie Bot, free starting April 1st. This seems like a bold move. What do you make of it?
Well, one has to agree that it does seem like a strategic move, right? I think that by making Ernie Bot free, Baidu could attract a larger user base and gather more data to improve their models. It's a common tactic in the tech industry to offer services for free to gain market share. But I wonder if this is also a response to competition from other AI players like DeepSeek, which has been making waves recently.
I did look this through the article, and it mentions that newer players like DeepSeek are disrupting the segment. And I bet Baidu is likely feeling the pressure and trying to stay ahead. The way I see it, financially, this could be a smart move if it leads to increased adoption and potentially more revenue from other services.
Interesting. The article also quotes Baidu's CEO saying that the inference cost of foundation models can be reduced by more than 90% over 12 months. And you know what that represents? A significant cost reduction. I think it really shows how quickly the technology is advancing and becoming more efficient, don't you think?
Yeah, but we have to be careful not to overlook the quality aspect. Not everything that shines is gold, Peter. Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's better. We need to see if the bite is as hard as the bark is loud, how Ernie Bot performs compared to other models. If it's not up to par, users might not stick around. even if it's free.
True. And speaking of competition, let's not forget about the global players. Companies like OpenAI and Google are also investing heavily in AI. It's going to be a fierce battle for dominance in this space. And let's not forget the massive investment in data centers in the United States by Elon Musk and other tech giants. Because whoever runs the fastest, most efficient models, and without interruptions, like we've seen when the word gets out about some of the recent Chinese models, the fastest and best will likely be on top of the heap at the end of the day.
You're spot on, Mark. Definitely. Now, moving on to our third story, which is closer to home. Apple has unveiled a new lower-priced iPhone, the iPhone 16e, which includes AI features. According to the New York Times, this is the first update to their most affordable model since 2022, and it carries a price tag of $599. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, who's going to complain about a less expensive iPhone, right? I think it's a strategic move by Apple to capture the mid-market segment, especially in countries like China and India where price sensitivity is higher. By offering AI features at a lower price point, they might be able to attract customers who were previously priced out of the Apple ecosystem. And let's not forget that the Asian market gets dual SIM iPhones, which are not even available in the United States.
But we have to consider whether the AI features are compelling enough to drive sales, because at that price, there's still a lot of people getting left behind in some of those developing countries. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Most Android phones in China cost between the equivalent of 70 and 140 US dollars in their currency. So, you're not going to tell me that the same demographic will be attracted when they could buy 4 new Android phones rather than just one iPhone at this $599 price. Still, the article mentions that Apple Intelligence was initially only available on newer models in English-speaking markets, which limited its reach for now. Now, by bringing prices to a more affordable option, they could expand their user base significantly, at least with those who cannot quite afford the $1,500 priced premium iPhone, right?
Yeah, and Tim Cook has attributed some of the iPhone's struggles to the limited availability of Apple Intelligence. So, this could be a way to address that issue. But Lisa, you mentioned the competition in markets like China. How do you think this will fare against local brands?
It's going to be tough. Chinese brands like Huawei and Xiaomi offer high-spec devices at competitive prices. Apple will need to differentiate itself not just on price, but also on the quality of its AI features and the overall user experience. I get it, right? The American icon of a brand the iPhone represents has pull, and brand loyalty will play a role, but it might not be enough on its own.
And let's not forget the global economic climate. With inflation and other economic pressures, consumers might be more cautious with their spending. A lower-priced iPhone could be appealing, but it still needs to offer value for money.
Good points. But pivoting to our last story, we're talking about how AI is changing the way Silicon Valley builds startups. According to the New York Times, startups are using AI tools to increase productivity and achieve more with smaller teams. This is leading to what they're calling tiny team success stories. What do you guys think about this trend?
Tiny team success stories. What a name. Well, it's fascinating. AI tools can automate a lot of tasks from customer service to coding, which allows startups to operate more efficiently. This could lower the barriers to entry and enable more innovation. However, I worry about the potential for job displacement. If AI can do the work of multiple people, what happens to the workforce?
That's a valid concern, Lisa. But on the flip side, AI could also create new job opportunities and allow humans to focus on more creative and strategic tasks. It's a double-edged sword. From an investment perspective, this trend could make startups more attractive to investors, as they can achieve more with less capital.
Yeah, and the article mentions Gamma, an AI startup that is leveraging these tools to enhance productivity. It's a great example of how AI is not just a product, but also a means to build better products. This could lead to a new wave of innovation in Silicon Valley.
That may be true, but we have to be mindful of the ethical implications. If AI is being used to replace human workers, don't you think we need to ensure that there are mechanisms in place to support those who are displaced? So I'm thinking that retraining programs and education will be crucial.
Bingo. And as AI becomes more integrated into the startup ecosystem, we might see a shift in the types of skills that are in demand. Technical skills will be important, but so will skills in ethics, governance, and human AI collaboration.
Well said, Mark. I think that wraps up our discussion on the latest tech news. It's been a lively debate, as always. Before we sign off, let's do a quick recap. We talked about ByteDance's new AI model and the implications for deepfakes, Baidu's move to make Ernie Bot free, Apple's new lower-priced iPhone with AI features, and how AI is transforming Silicon Valley startups.
And I must say that through it all, we've seen the lightning fast pace of innovation in AI and wireless mobile technology, but we also shed light on some of the challenges and opportunities it presents.
Indeed. It's an exciting time to be in tech, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Agreed. Thanks for joining us today, Lisa and Mark. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the Danny Mobile Tech News Podcast for more updates on the latest in tech. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.
And before we leave, we want you to know we appreciate your subscription to this channel and want to hear from you in the comments. Where are you listening in from, and what do you think about the flood of models to the market and the new iPhone? Until then, take care, be safe, and keep it locked here at Danny's Mobile Tech News Podcast, bringing you the latest tech news and views that you can use.